Hello everyone. Okay, this is part two of the Unreal Mapbox Bridge setup series, and this is going to focus on setting it up for the first time. So when you go to terrain.justgeektext.com, you will not see this map right at first. You will initially be brought over to the settings page. There are two main things you need to do on this page in order to get your map working. The first is you're going to need to create an account at Mapbox and get an access token. So to do that, the easiest thing to do is click on this link here. Okay, it'll bring you to the Mapbox page, and I'm signed in. I'm just going to sign out real quick so it'll show you what it's like. So you're going to be brought here. All you need to do is click on sign in. Now, the only thing you need is a free Mapbox account. You do not need to pay for a paid version. The free Mapbox account gives you something like 100,000 or more requests a month, which is plenty more than, if you're going to use more than that, then yes, you're going to need to pay one. But most of y'all will never need a paid account for my application. I doubt you're going to be doing that many requests to create 16-bit height maps. So anyway, so sign in, create an account. When you do, or excuse me, sign up and create an account. And once you sign up and create an account, I'm going to just go ahead and sign in here. You should be brought to your account page. It's the Mapbox account page. If you're not brought there, just go to your little icon and click on account. When you do that, you will have this one access token here, the default public token, which is perfectly fine to use. You can use that one, or you can create a specific one. It does not matter, but either one will work. You don't have to create a new special token. But either one you choose to use, just click copy, okay, and then go back to Unreal Mapbox Bridge. Now this, when you first open it, first time use, will be blank like this. Go ahead and paste it, and then if you want to, click on this and it'll reveal what it is, just to make sure that everything pasted in and looks correct, okay? The next thing you do, all this information here will be filled out for you. You don't really need to change any of this information. The next thing you'll need to do is select a download folder location on your hard drive. Click on this button here. It'll open up, and then you can choose a location on your computer where you want to download files. And click select folder. It'll ask you, to give for you to give it permissions to download those files, since we're doing it from a web browser, and normally web browsers don't have access to your folder locations, but we're using a new API that allows you to do it. And as long as you say yes, I can, then this application can download files to your computer. So go ahead and click on OK on that, and then hit save at the bottom. And then if everything's working, you should be presented with a map, and you're good to go. So that's the main settings. And then again, once you're here, you choose a location, left click, double left click to, and then again you'll ask you to if it's okay, you can save changes. Go ahead and choose yes, and then it'll load this up, and then you can click on download heightmap. Um, Again, please go over the help. There's a lot of good information in there. All right, that is the basic setup. Since that went pretty quick, let's go ahead and go over some of the features of this application. Okay, so I think I stated in the previous video, we have two selection modes. When you first go to it and you first load up your map, the default selection mode is going to be select single tile. That is this, okay? The other selection mode is draw rectangle to select multiple tiles. That would be left click, draw a line, left click again, go move your mouse down, left click now. Now we've got multiple tiles that we're selecting. However, in order for this mode to work, we do have to run a little exe program. I will show you how to set that up later. So remember, we've got two modes to use: single tile select, multiple tile select. Multiple tile select needs a separate application. I'll go over stitching tiles in another video. Map settings, okay? And map settings, and this doesn't really change anything about your height map. It just allows you to change how it looks, what you're looking at, okay? Hill shading, it's just a way of how Mapbox allows you to change things. You can see what it does. Bounding box, when you let me change it back to single tile select here. This box here is what's called a bounding box. Now, if you don't want to, well, you can also see I can change hide the sidebar. If you don't want to see the bounding box, you can just toggle that off. For oceans and stuff, you've got all this information here, and if I zoom out, you can see easily what they do. Okay, it just and that doesn't affect the height map at all, the 16-bit height map at all. It's just for your preferences. The other thing is you can see a satellite image overlay, and turning it into 3D doesn't really do much now because it's already kind of that way. But you'll see if we change it to the satellite 3D, we'll get. Let me refresh. If it gets messed up like that, just simply refresh it. Let me change it to satellite and 3D, and then if I zoom in, again, this doesn't affect the height map, but you can see. I zoomed out too quickly. Sorry, I'm moving around too quickly. That's the problem. Zooming in and out too quickly. So take it slow. All right, let's try that again. But you get the idea. So I'm just going to tilt it, and now you can see 3D as it give it a second to render. But you can see that you get a little 3D image. Anyway, again, this doesn't affect the height map at all. It's purely visual, and I don't need it. All right. Let's see. Let's go back. So that's that. Here's full screen. This definitely can help if you are trying to find a place on your map. You just full screen it and zoom out. Left click and drag, right click and drag. You can find areas anywhere around the world easily, and then zoom back in. That helps. That definitely helps. Full screen. Okay, go back to that. Longitude and latitude. You can look up a longitude and latitude. Let's just do Mount Everest. Lat. Okay, and that's going to be our longitude. And we can go in. We can close this down, and we can go in. It says longitude, comma latitude. So we'll put in our longitude there, and we will grab our latitude here. Okay, and it gives you the option in case you've gotten it backwards, which I have sometimes, and put the latitude. If you meant this to be latitude and not longitude, it tries to help you correct it. But in this case, that should be correct. And there we go. We're at Mount Everest Base Camp, I think. Yeah. So anyway, you can see that worked. The other way to search, so besides longitude and latitude, you can search by name. So when I go back to Mount Rainier, I can do Mount Rainier. And I know it's this one that says Ashford, Washington. And it'll take me back to where I was before. All right. Well, let's see. We will go another feature is weight maps. I will go over that in another video. Weight maps. We can now generate weight maps for Unreal Engine. And what that means is that when you import a landscape into Unreal, okay, you have a usually a landscape material and sometimes an auto material that'll paint grass and cliffs and snow on areas. Well, with weight maps, we can actually generate these particular areas. We can, based on the map box itself, and if we look at, let me actually go to Mapbox. Let me go to Mapbox, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me go to my studio, and this is what I'm using, weight map for Unreal. But so let me click on this. This is a custom map I designed. But what Mapbox allows you to do is that Mapbox itself has defined for us within its data areas such as farmland, forest, waterways, water, trees, and so on. And so all I've done is I've said, okay, anything that's a forest on the map, I'm going to color it red. Anything that's a waterway, blue, and and so forth, rock, snow. So now I've basically got distinct colors for each landscape feature. So what we do then is we create a black and white image of all these green areas, a black and white image of all these red areas of all the different colors, a black and white image representing all these different colors. And now when we import our 16-bit height map, we can also import these weight map files. So weight maps of what is that? That is trees. These weight map of trees, and it'll use our landscape material as long as we have it matched up correctly to automatically paint in this exact area or any of the green area that we have here with whatever landscape texture you have. So waterways, for example. So if you wanted on your 16-bit height map, if you wanted all your waterways textured, we could do it that way. So that's what weight maps are. All right. I'll let you read about this stuff. Most of this stuff you're not really going to use and not going to be able to change. That's in the help. So create weight maps here is what you would need to use to create the weight map. Again, there is another program you're going to need. Actually, not for the weight maps. You don't need a program to run for the weight maps, so you can do that right away. I'll go into that. Well, actually, I mean, we're already here. So the only other thing you need to do to set up weight maps is this is the last thing in the settings that you really need to change. So if you don't want to use weight maps, you don't have to. You don't have to worry about it. This is just a viewer of it. It basically shows you what area you've selected. So if I go here and select this area, load it up, and hit weight map, it's going to bring it to that same area. It's going to show you what you selected, and this is what your weight map's going to look like. Okay. The other thing you need to do to set up the weight maps is you need to, right here it says click copy Mapbox weight map style. And of course, first you need the Mapbox account, which you should have since you created this. You will click on this, okay? And once you do that, hit copy to your account. It'll add the style to your account. And then once you've done that, you click on share, okay? And you'll see the style URL. Go ahead and click copy that. Go back to your go back to Mapbox Bridge. I guess I probably should have opened that in a pop-up, but just remember that and just right-click and open a pop-up. But go back to settings, and then you see here I've got my style here. I don't have the full style, so all you need is your name and the style ID. So you can paste that link you copied and then just get rid of the first part of it, so it just has your name and style ID, and then hit save. Okay, and now you'll have the weight map file. Okay, and I mean, you could create your own, but if you do create your own, you're going to have to do all these kind of change all the colors and everything. I'll go over more detailed on weight map in the future. Those are the main features. Enable world partition. Of course, if you want to use world partition when you're hitting send to Unreal, that'll do that. If you download it and import it manually, it's Unreal's going to import it depending on what type of scene you've set up. Let's see, blur radius. Okay, on your height map, if when you download your height map or send it to Unreal, if for some reason that height map, depending on the area you selected, has kind of sharp edges, you can set a blur radius. You maybe increase it. You can experiment with this, but the higher the number, the more blur, which is going to basically just decrease any sharp edges you have. The weight map blur radius, again, I've set this to what I think it should be. Again, that also softens the edges. And if you need that, you can change that as well. All right, I believe that's it for initially getting it set up, including setting up weight maps, going over some of these features here. Again, check the help. There's more in there. That should get you started. So the next video, I am going to show you how to set up the tile stitching feature. Thank you.